Welcome back. That was another little feature that showed the animation from the First Arts Organisation, which are doing so much to support the Bolsover Festival of Brass. And we also hear just before that the final notes coming from York Railway Institute Band, conducted by Chris Hurst, and they finished off with the Firebird, which was, of course, Stravinsky, arranged by Ray Farr. The next band on in a couple of moments' time is Easington Colliery Band. They're going to be directed by Chris Bentham. They're starting their programme with Walking with Heroes by Paul Lovett Cooper. Autumn Leaves is the trombone solo featuring Steve Jones. That was originally written by Joseph Cosma, arranged by the great Bill Geldard. First time we've heard the March Praise by Wilfred Heaton. That's going to come up. And then it's All Right With Me, Cole Porter, arranged Tom Brevick. And they finish off with Shine As the Light by Peter Graham. So that's going to be in a few moments' time. As we said throughout the day, we've been joined by a number of guests, and it's great to welcome Stan Lippiatt to the sofa up here in Bolsover. Stan is actually conducting a little bit later on with Hatfield Band.
That's right.
But it's great to see you, Stan, and we're going to just ask a little something about your role. You've been promoting brass bands for so many years ago through the Butlins organisation, Butlins Mineworkers Championships. Tell us a little bit about, because again, Butlins is leading the way in which the entertainment competitions is evolving. Now, there's been changes in the way in which you select the test piece elements for the championship section and the full section that's now become own choice. But tell us what's actually happening for 2017 with the entertainment part of it as well.
Well, if I just go back to last year first and say that we do listen to what our audience, which is a very captive audience at Butlins, they're all banders, what they had to say about last year's entertainment contest was that they were a bit disappointed in some of the programming from some of the bands. I mean, even my brother, who used to play only a little bit, said, "That's not entertaining, Stan. It's time we did something about trying to do something to get them to think about what they're going to play." So we decided that, or I decided and put it to the other two members of our panel, we'll change the judging format and try and get the bands and the conductors thinking about what they're going to do in the entertainment section and make it really matter. To that extent, I don't know if you can remember, we've always had two music judges, and we've always had a separate entertainment prize, which has usually been judged by sometimes Red Coats, sometimes entertainment people from Butlins. This year, we're going to have 4 recognised brass band adjudicators. 2 will be sat together judging the music, giving marks out of 100. 2 will be sat separate, giving marks out of 50 each for entertainment. Then we shall collate that, and if there's a tie situation within the entertainment contest, the entertainment judges will be the ones whose marks we put preference on for deciding if there's a tie. If the tie goes further back than that, to a tie between the set test piece on the Saturday and the entertainment contest on the Sunday, again the entertainment judges will be the one that decide who gets the prize. And I'm hoping this will focus the bands and their conductors on doing something other now. I've been listening to the programme today on the internet, and it was quite interesting listening to Stephen Mead and 1 or 2 others talking about repertoire and how we change it and should we change. I think we should change. I did an article for British Bandsman for Kerry on entertainment programmes, the ones that how we used to do it back in the 70s and 80s with Grimethorpe, and along with Howard Snell and Desford and Grimethorpe and Ray Farr, things moved forward. It's time that it moved forward again, and the only people that's going to move it forward are the people that are actually performing.
You're not saying that there's still we're talking about the championship section?
Yes.
So there would be is an own choice test piece.
Yes.
Excuse me. On the one day, but on the next day, you're trying to encourage the bands to be a bit more inventive, give it more importance, and to try and give it a bit more thought behind it. Chris, is an element that you said that sometimes is actually, at that level, sometimes that extra bit of thought could be the difference between, as Stan says, a band actually winning or just coming along and be happy to be in the prizes. They can be a bit more risky.
Yeah, I think it can. And at the championship level, you expect that from the bands. I mean, you're hoping that the bands are going to give you a programme that is obviously challenging technically, but perhaps just pushes the boundaries a little bit in terms of entertainment as well. It's interesting. I've got to ask you, Stan. Actually, it's interesting. Your programme with Hatfield, talking of entertainment, and this has been repertoire has been something we've been talking about off and on all day. Your final piece is the first movement from the Second Sinfonietta by Jean Balisat.
Yeah.
Great piece, and a piece I've not heard for a long time. What took you to that piece?
Well, thinking about what I've written about. What I said to Kenny was that the programmes, people like what they know and know what they like. And that's why we should never, ever ignore repertoire and be prepared to look back as well as looking forward.
Yeah.
And in my programme today, we've got one new arrangement, which I call it solo. It is an arrangement, which I don't think anybody else will have played today. And then, if you say the Jean Balisat, I played that with Grimethorpe years ago on the BBC Champion Brass Series, I think it was. Yeah. And we played it, and Roy Newsom and Gough Richards were adjudicating, and they was quite surprised at the choice we'd had, because it was quite modern in them.
It was pretty edgy back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it raised a few eyebrows. I don't think it will raise eyebrows today. No. But it is a good piece, and when we say play something new, something that's not very heard very often.
I've got to bring you this, Stan. Sorry, we've not the time. We've got to go back to the hall with Simone, but we'll catch up with you a little bit later. Many thanks for that. We'll come back there. Thanks. Back to Simone.